figured, right?
Yeah.
Well, just sends them out, yeah.
No, I'll move that we approve the minutes from last month's meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Being that there's no one online, right? Does anyone else want privilege of the floor? Alrighty, let's get right at the financial reports.
I got stuff. You want me to say it or you wanna go?
No, go ahead, go ahead. I always like your attention to detail. I always miss it when you're not here.
Okay, so there's a couple things I just want, I mean, most of this stuff should be around 40-ish% or 39% or whatever it is, so.
Right,
There's a couple things that are a little off and high or, so this, when I was chairperson, I started to try to bring up things to see, oh, did we forget that we had that, or, are we using
Right.
it? So, couple things like that, so the town board contractual is a little low, so I don't know if you guys bought some furniture or something, but just FYI, it's.
There was our civic plus or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
Civic plus.
So it was budgeted higher than normal, but was going to have had a one-time expense.
Okay, so just wanted to point that out.
one time purchase and then
Purchase.
annual, right?
And
That's-
correct,
annual
yeah, sorry.
subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so AA 1620-200, on the second page there, that's buildings, capital equipment. Guys haven't spent a dime out of that?
That's a roof for the town hall.
Okay. Okay.
Which I don't,
We're not dealing with right now, so
Okay.
we got lots of other.
No, that's fine.
deal with.
I'm putting them out when I'm like, I know you guys are doing buildings and capital equipment things.
It's not in that bad shape, is it? The roof?
I think it's been on there every year.
Yeah.
Like the
It's gonna
last
need it
few-
eventually,
yeah.
We did fix a leak
Right,
that was occurring. But that had nothing to do with the asphalt, that was a boot around the pipe.
We don't see any curling or.
yeah, it doesn't look that bad to me, yeah.
Plus apparently roofs are not $85,000. Anyway.
Well.
I know, that's.
Some are a little more than that.
AA 171.10.200, the parks capital maintenance. There's a lot in there, I would think you would have spent a lot on that this summer for maintenance. But I don't know if that got pulled from somewhere else. Pardon me.
So those are capital improvements for the parks. I think that there's a lot of things out to bid and so in process.
I'm just bringing it up, making sure.
RFPs are coming in, like for the pickleball courts and,
Awesome.
stuff like that.
We'll spend that money.
It's going away.
I'm just,
Yeah.
another one is AA 186.64.200. It's code enforcement capital equipment. It had
That's a truck.
that's the
That's
truck.
really gonna get-
Okay, so that's the truck. Got it. Alright, next one I got, this is a highway now, so DA 100 in the revenue 2302. It's at 3.22 for services from other governments for revenue, so I don't know if we're just
I just looked at this.
not doing as much as we usually do, or what?
I just looked at that too. I think it is.
You may not know, cause I know it's kind of more, our neighbor over there is not.
I'll have to look at it, but I'm pretty sure I just looked at it this week.
And then, I mean, you get full demerits for no negatives this month, Jess, rah rah, but Jim has some negatives.
Yeah, we were just talking about.
So as long
those,
as you're
yeah.
aware of those, there's
Yeah.
the highway engineering contractual, the highway permanent improvements.
We just gotta swap money around on those, we
Yeah.
were just talking about that, taking it from that one account. and putting it
And then
in the
his
other.
HSA account.
Yeah, those be addressed usually near to the end of the year. So that we just transfer money.
Right,
And
It changes based on the amount of employees who we hire, what they
Yeah.
decide to take for insurance.
Okay, usually, isn't there usually a full fund balance report? This one just has the
Oh,
activity
yeah,
report.
I did not print, or didn't print that.
Okay, so just a couple things, and I don't know if you're gonna talk about stuff at all this year, but, I don't know what the fund balance is in that open space reserve fund, but that's often something that that was well funded, like over the $1 million range, and we didn't have a purpose for, so just keep that in mind. And I just wanted to make sure that for the budgeting process, that we're putting something into that campus reserve, repair reserve fund in the budget, so that we're consistently prepped for when we're doing something else around here, so. That's all. And I think that's a little. Hey.
Anyone else? Oh, good. Finance related resolutions?
Other than anything else we might be talking about, I don't have anything that would need a solution.
We need a resolution on the auditor's report.
I don't look. Maybe two.
We might, yeah.
We did, John Jared, maybe was it, and Dave, so our auditor, Lumsden McCormick, our auditor wasn't available to, present at this meeting, she was out of office. So she just kind of gave us a little overview, there was no, negative findings, so it was all just pretty.
We saw her PowerPoint that she's gonna present at the
Yeah.
meeting, so everything we did did well. I mean,
Yeah.
there weren't any
Yeah.
things that she had recommendations, so
The only recommendation she had was to have somebody sign off on journal entries. There's like certain entries that I make throughout the month to fix corrections or post cash transactions or something like that.
second set of eyes. is all,
Yeah, so it's just having someone,
Yeah.
yeah, look at those to make sure that, transferring money to.
Also, yeah, she also did talk about a new regulation for 2026 that's gonna require us to be, or budgeting more at what the expected, sales tax is going to be instead of. And if you don't, if you don't come close to it, then they're gonna expect a full justification as to why you under budgeted.
Seriously?
So.
It's hard to guess, right?
So they want it to be, so you're not. I mean, I get it in a way, so you're not like. Under budgeted by $1 million, so you have some slush,
Right,
and then putting that burden on the taxpayer by under budgeting. So. So that's something different you guys will see in the budget coming up, is that we're gonna be. Probably a lot higher on our sales tax revenue than it has been in the past, cause.
which can cause problems a different way.
Yeah.
Potentially.
If, yeah.
You gotta
Well,
hire a fortune teller to.
I mean, when I look at the 3 to 4 year averages. We are well under, it seems like we've always under budgeted by at least $1 million.
But that's, I mean, in my mind, that's conservative and that
Yeah.
you can't really, once we think we're gonna get that million. We won't get the million, that's the problem.
But I mean, like historically, we can look back
Yeah.
and say, okay, has it ever
It's not-
reduced year to year?
Yeah,
Can you base it on previous year? Is that,
yeah, you can look at,
right, and by how much?
yeah, you can look at the trends and the historical data, get much closer. I mean, I wouldn't say like we're trying to hit it right on the dot, but we could probably get closer than.
$250,000 maybe.
Yes.
You could
Yeah.
also budget something into the tax contingency fund as well, so that if it's, up or down, it's got a little bit that.
That's something
Yeah.
we are getting rid
Yeah,
of.
no.
Because we found that you can't really use it for anything. That we thought you can. And so we're gonna be working on a way to. And so that, say there's something else, the only other thing you can use it for is
Retirement,
retirement benefits or the retirement fund that you pay into, so.
Really?
Yeah.
That is not what we were.
No,
we were
Yeah.
told,
you
but
can't offset the,
no,
We were told that
We can,
fund could be used for reducing any taxpayer burden.
it can, but it's very specific criteria that they interpret in a different way than. even I thought, because when we added some into our budget, for this year and I looked hard at it and if we fit all the criteria I thought, but then apparently they interpreted it much differently.
They-
Who's they, yeah,
Comptroller's office, sorry,
and they said, can't do that.
they,
You can only use it if there's some sort of like increase in federal or decrease in
Decrease.
state or federal,
Oh,
whatever.
somebody
Yeah.
was quite some you.
Yeah.
Perfect for that.
yeah.
Right, I mean, and you wonder if, well, like over time, 'cause that
Changed
specific reserve has been, you know.
Well, we
something
funded it with
that's-
$1 million one year.
Right, but it was, it was established a long time ago, but
Yeah.
in the eyes of the comptroller's office, this is a reserve that they have recognized for
Yeah,
many, many
for a long
years, and
time.
maybe when it was established, there, you know, was maybe a different interpretation.
Right.
So,
Well, it was, I mean, it was established that,
yeah,
there was,
looks like.
words at the came about when the 2% tax cap, all of that.
Yeah.
It was in
Say
that
like
era.
early top 2000s maybe,
Yeah,
or-
And
It
it
was
does,
like 2016.
yeah, probably 10 years ago. But that was the interpretation at the time, well, let's fix the money here. Hey, you have a problem over here, but apparently that's.
Sticking it somewhere else.
Unfortunately, sometimes they change things, they don't change their wording, but they rely on like case law and
So.
decisions
I mean,
that are
they-
very hard to
Yeah,
find.
yeah, yeah.
And regardless of any of that, we can't do it, so
So
that's,
be able
that's,
to use it for them.
So
Does it still have that like $1 million in it?
it does, well, it won't, so it also has a cap that we weren't. I guess we didn't really pay attention to that either, it can only be 10%
Yeah.
of your budget.
Yeah, I knew that, I'm unsure that they're.
No, when we added more funds to
Oh,
it.
when you add it
We,
to it.
we overfunded the reserve, cause there is you know, an amount.
percentage, yeah,
Percentage of your overall budget, so
That's what she was talking.
during the audit, they will be sending me adjustments to be made, and that's one of the adjustments is to actually reverse part of that. Funding to that reserve, so it'll be more around the $500,000-600,000 dollars in that reserve
In
account.
your budget, can you take money then from that directly to pay for retirement?
It'll go back in unassigned fund balance,
Oh.
so
But I mean, of the remaining 500,000-600,000.
no, we cannot use that for the budget. But it almost fixes itself because the auditor has recommended moving money out of that tax reserve to put us in compliance with the comptroller's regulations. Therefore, that, I think it's 400 and some odd thousand, that's gonna go back in the general fund unassigned fund balance. So instead of using the tax reserve, we can just, that had been budgeted, we can use the unassigned fund
Unassigned fund
balance.
so we get a
For this
one-time
year.
adjustment to that fund, is that what you're saying? Yes.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering what we're doing with the other $500,000, like if it's.
So that is still, that'll still be there, and we can discuss about the only, according to the comptroller's. Regulations on that particular reserve fund, the only thing you can. Transfer that money to is the retirement reserve. Which I believe can be used to pay. For your, NYSERS retirement, whatever. So if we wanted to bring it down even further, we could. We could
Pay
use, we
yeah.
could move the money,
That's what I
use
would
it to
do.
pay the retirement.
So we gotta check on this if we can, because that's the idea is maybe we don't have the budget
Yeah,
for that.
put zero in your budget for that.
And then just-
That's around $260,000 a year,
And just
like,
do that for the
Our
next 2
NYSERS.
years and that'll kill it.
But,
Find another place to stick your.
so I thought,
Yeah.
I misunderstood the 10% because, so it's the overall budget, cause I know I did the numbers, we also, according to their original rules, was it had to be under a certain percentage of that year's. Budget, and I did that math very closely.
right, now, this
so
was
that's-
a contribution that happened
Yeah,
prior
yeah.
to the.
That was 2 years.
Yeah, when we were trying to reduce our general unassigned fund balance, because it's so high.
Think we should worry about the fire trucks driving
It's going
around in
around
circles,
circles.
it's like the fourth time I've seen them go by.
Don't smell smoke.
Yeah, we would expect this system to work here, but. Any other finance, John, related resolutions that you,
I had nothing on my list, there's. Other finance related things, but not specific like
okay, good,
budget transfer stuff that unless anything comes up in those,
elevator repair
Discussions here.
discussions, I don't know, that's probably a good chance that they will. Budget needs for 2027 reevaluation.
Okay.
the reval,
Yes.
that's, yeah.
I'm Michelle, I'm the assessor for the town of Canandaigua. Though we think that the revale we did at 23 is almost behind us, guess what? There's another one coming up. Usually we like to keep them on a 4-year cyclical, process. It's just enough time for everybody to forget how that's all.
No, they're not gonna forget.
I mean, they're gonna forget me, the public. In order to have the revale in 27, it has to be done in 26. So it has to be budgeted in the 26 budget, and that is, we are now in budget season. A couple of things that makes me think that we need it is our equalization rate is going down steadily. It was 23, it was 100%. 24, it was 98. This year it's 92. Next year, it'll probably be 85. 27, it'll probably be, if a reval is not done, 27 will probably be down below 80. So the pluses to have 100% equalization rate are, we pay the county tax rate what it's supposed to be. If you're under 100, you pay, your municipality pays higher tax rate. County tax rate. I've also been reading up on this, and your bond rating is better if your equalization rate is higher. Another thing is I have sales and assessed values here from January until now. If you guys wanna look at them, they're exponentially higher, a lot, like most of the time double or.
So it's gonna be another PR thing for you.
Correct. So,
Because-
Just died down.
Yes.
that's what I'm still having people come to grievance for.
So if people stop buying houses more than asking.
Yeah, you'll watch that.
You know,
I will say, so everyone keeps in the back of mind, it's something that I was working on with Michelle a while ago, which is the fact that. So when we do these revals, it literally puts much more tax burden on the multi-billionaires along Westlake Road than on our regular residents. So I had somebody who I had to reach out to Michelle when I was working as elections. They're like, my taxes went up and it's not okay. And I was like, how much is your house worth? She's like 170. I'm like, they should have gone down. She didn't. She's like, they went up. And I'm like, well, I'll find out. Got the information. Michelle, her taxes did go down dramatically. Yeah. And they went down dramatically because we kept that tax rate low. And because her house was so much underneath that $400,000 average house price, my taxes actually went down like $5 or something. So, I mean, it really, like, as long as you need to get that messaging out there. As long as your house is less than the average, and we do a good job keeping that tax rate at a good spot, your taxes should not be significantly impacted in any way by this. And that, I think that would be helpful if we work to push that information out before you get to grievance day of 2027, so.
And we'll answer, all the elected officials will answer to as we did the last time. And what I said to people was, would you sell your house for your assessment? Almost universally, people said, no, I would want more. How do you complain?
I
You know what I
think,
mean?
even
A soft way to say
30
it.
years
People
ago.
like to complain.
Right, and they will, I mean, we're still gonna get bombarded by that.
Won't stop.
But I just always remember people saying, like, when I was much younger, probably is that your assessment's always lower than your appraisal.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until more recently that it's not supposed to be.
Right. It's supposed to be 100%.
Market value, correct.
Right.
Market
Right.
value.
And we're just never gonna get any of those right,
No,
just
it's
because
just
the market
a
makes so, yeah.
But the only people that it is not a positive for are the billionaires on Westlake Road. I mean,
Or,
if you.
or anybody with an expensive house,
Over
right?
$600,000, your taxes are gonna go up, as
Yeah.
well they should. But if your house,
Easy with that
you know. Sorry, but I mean, if you're, the person you're talking to, she's, fixed income, her husband's a disabled veteran and she's working as an election inspector.
I'm a
to pay
fixed
her
income,
bill.
why are my taxes going
But
up?
anyway, it is, you guys all need to do a good job in the next year. Put out in the newsletter, what does tax rate mean? What's the difference between tax rate and, and the tax levy? Like, you need to get that
We did that
messaging
the
out.
last time.
Yeah.
And it's still.
We're still gonna get it.
Get it.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I think there is something to try to get ahead of it, talk about the benefits of reevaluation, don't mention that we're gonna do it right away. But talk about the benefit.
After this November.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's
wait till
exactly-
after November to even put the,
January.
Well, like right now, Webster, the town of Webster
Yeah,
is
they're-
going through a
yeah,
revale.
and they're,
They have not done a revale in over 10 years.
yeah,
So their equalization rate is like 50%.
right,
So their assessments are gonna go up
right,
a lot. They have hired a company, KLW out of Buffalo, to do that entire letters to and data collection all the way to grievance.
Yeah.
And they're paying a lot of money for that.
I'd love to stay away from paying a lot of money for that, because I think we've managed it, I mean, I think our hard one was the one we've already been through, you know what I mean?
The thing is, the county helped out with that.
Yeah.
I was not involved in anything the county did for us.
Yeah.
So I need to get help.
I think the county
From
made more errors
appraisers
than you
and-
did.
I mean, there's a lot more to it than just sitting down with getting a person, resident a letter and then sitting down with them. There's a lot more behind the scenes stuff, modeling
Yeah.
and valuing and data collection and pictures and, so. I'm thinking I may need to hire another, I am getting an assessor aide this month, we have hired somebody. But I'm also think we may need to hire a couple, maybe part-time data collectors to go around, take pictures. Of everywhere, cause the last time I did it actually back in 2019 and that's. Been 6 years now, so we'd have to go back and around and do that whole. Data collection,
What are you budgeting, I mean, you just ballpark,
well, that's why I'm coming here, cause
Yeah, that's
I-
why I had her come here to talk about, because as we get to the budget, we will have to add things into the budget in order to accommodate the start of her.
right,
of what
26 will
They'll
have,
need,
will have
Yeah.
price.
so. And I mean, some of those, like you can tell them what the
oh yeah, I had one
quotes you got so far.
the whole thing. Start to finish was like 225,000. To have them do the whole entire thing. I myself think I need the most help in the commercial portion. And that was, I think, 25,000, so,
That was for
that a lot,
Private people or from?
GAR
Gar.
Associates. I also asked for other, excuse me. Estimates from other people, but I can also piecemeal it out, I mean, I know several of. Retired assessors that would be willing to help me out with that. So here is the GAR, if anybody wants to see it, the quote they gave me.
That's the 225 or the 25?
The
225.
It's all included in there, but I also talked to someone from KLW, which hadn't got back to me. But other assessors, like I did talk to Don Collins, where he is like an agriculture expert, he would help me with that.
He retired now, Dad?
Not yet, he plans on it this
I
year.
never will.
You know. So, he was gonna help me with that. I do have another guy, Wayne Pickering, who is retiring from Penfield this year, Penfield, I believe. And he would help me out with the modeling portion. The thing is, I don't know, did you get my email about how much we paid the county? I just don't know how to find it on the
Yeah.
budget software, so I don't know how much that was that we paid the county. They did are commercial and like half of the residential.
I would not use the county for commercial again, because there were those.
Well, they don't have anybody.
I was gonna say,
anyways.
there are those 15 properties that they assessed at 0, that.
Well, that wasn't, they didn't assessment zero, the program did
Yeah,
that. The program.
So
did
if
it.
you had to take a guesstimate for 26, what would you need to begin this process?
I probably people, data collectors, I could hire temporary for $20 an hour. I'm guessing 20 to 25 hours a week. I don't know the math on that, right? off
or you
the top
could do
of my
that in
head.
the summer, 'cause you could get some
Right,
college students
Right,
in some
yeah.
in the summer.
yes. Yes, that would. But I just need to know that before, I need to get the go ahead to do it, cause I know the town board is a little wishy-washy about doing a revale, so.
Yeah, so that's why. Wanted her to come here for that initial discussion to get an idea from board members on. Are we going to do a reval or not? And then if. Think that that's the direction we wanna go, and as we work through her budget, we'd be putting those things in, which then would obviously also come back to you then to show what. Costs are going to be in the budget, but first, before before
Right.
putting all the work into getting that information, we just wanted to
Yeah.
get an idea of
So,
this
Terry, where are
where
you?
we're gonna go.
I think we have to do it.
I think we have to do it too. I do too. So I think one of the other two will probably,
Yeah.
or both will be for it. I just don't, I don't wanna get caught behind the 8 ball like Webster and all those other places, that there's benefits to doing it. I mean, there's a lot of flack to doing it, but I think it's the right thing to do.
Well, as the local election commissioner, I'll mention that the town board elections are in 25, 27, and 28, FYI.
It is what it is.
Oh, whatever.
We have to do the right thing regardless of what the outcome is.
Yep, I'm just pointing it out.
Well, in
Yeah.
effect, you pay anyway, because the
Right.
tax rates are adjusted.
Right.
upward For,
Right, the tax rate would probably go up if the assessments stay
Based
low,
on that,
the tax rate would go up,
Right.
because you need,
whatever the ratio is.
It's the key, the tax rate goes up and it's negatively affecting the people that are in the smaller houses. They should be getting relief from that by the $12 million houses on West Lake Road paying more taxes.
Yeah, and actually, those are our two Article 7s right now, we've been going through for 2 years, and they're both Westlake Road properties
Yeah,
over.
'cause they can pay a
millions of
lawyer for
dollars,
2 years,
yeah.
so.
But
But
yeah,
they have to
we're
pay-
also paying a lawyer for that too.
Spending more.
They're paying the taxes that they're assessed at, they're just fighting those, right? So we'd have to.
Yeah,
reimburse them.
we're
They can
actually,
still
we're
collect
paying the
money.
lawyer, our lawyer,
Oh, yeah.
our, to go back and forth with them for
Right.
2 years, so.
Well, you'll have a good feeling for the assessed value of properties for the next one.
Well, it sounds like we should push ahead with that, whatever we're gonna budget for 26, I think there'll be an appetite for that.
So are we gonna budget for cars, is it just a commercial or residential?
Right now I'm waiting for a couple other quotes as well
I'd like to
for
see.
the
what's-
commercial.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's probably gonna have to, it's gonna have to go to RFP as well.
Mhm, right,
But
right.
just getting an idea of what it's gonna be is what we need in order to add it into the budget.
And it'll be spread over 2 years, it sounds like, so. With the bulk of it being 27.
Well,
Well, they
No,
built
that's-
25, 26, and 27 out of.
well,
that.
20,
26.
all the work, quote unquote, would be done in
Next
26.
year,
Yeah.
Letters go out in like
25.
March,
Yeah.
and then we begin informal meetings, so.
Oh, so this is for the 2027 tax bill, so next year's when you're doing all day work. And
Right.
then the bill's going out in January 27
No.
for the higher,
No. They will get the letters March of 27,
yes, okay,
the increase, but then that won't take effect until the 28th.
to the 28 bill,
Because the year runs March 1st
okay.
to February 28th.
It'll be the 27 school tax.
Yeah,
Be affected by it,
Yes.
but our town tax, county tax.
of
28.
28, right.
Got it.
I got a few years before you dig me hard. My new deck.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't vote for all properties, but I think.
I think that's a little excessive
Yeah, yeah,
as well,
I
I
mean,
do,
I think-
but I wanted to, you
Yeah,
to
yeah.
know,
What it costs, right?
like, if I was to
Baseline.
not be here tomorrow,
That's fine.
that might be something you would have to do because you wouldn't have a, unless you picked up Heather, but.
Why is she saying this?
Tim, it's a hard.
Well,
I'm just saying, Heather,
And I guess in the end, what we, have to look at, okay, if we don't do, we're not doing this, then what does additional staff cost?
correct.
And does it end up adding up to this amount?
Yeah, I don't think it would be
So-
close to that, but,
And then that's where you decide, okay, well, then what's more efficient? If it's gonna end up costing the same,
yeah, I don't think it would be near,
you don't think so?
no.
Down to $20 an hour.
Well, those would be the data collectors,
Yeah.
other people, other appraisers and professionals would be more of
Right.
those. But I would want them compartmentalized, like this person's doing commercial, this person's doing ag. And I can do the residential, so unless I have an unusual property, which I might need to have an appraisal for.
Do they set appointments to go in and take pictures and stuff, or do they just?
We
take
don't
whatever
go
they
in,
view
you
from
can't,
the
assessors
road?
cannot go in,
Exterior, right.
right from the road.
So whatever they can see from the road.
Yes.
Are you gonna get a drone? Maybe we can raise.
Yeah.
some-
No, don't.
That's all you gotta say, I'll get us a drone.
We also rely
That's a
on,
good one, nice one of the sheriff's.
I bet you know how to drive a drone.
No, honestly, a drone to take street views would be much more efficient than sending a person out in a car.
it would.
You get a lot of questions about things. Put a big sign that says this raises your taxes, and we can just try it.
Someday you'll be shooting at
2 cents.
We also rely on GIS, which
Yeah.
is above,
Yeah.
Yeah.
photos above, so you can see things you
Yeah.
can't see from the road,
How current is GIS?
Depends on where you are.
yeah,
Right.
and it depends on what company, like Ontario County, their Encore is like. They'd update it twice a year.
Yeah,
My picture of my house is like 7 years old.
yeah, mine, that's why I'm
Other
asking,
places,
mine is
they're
very old,
More
right, yeah.
current, so.
All right, well, sounds good, it sounds like we have the budget for some of that somewhere. All
Yeah,
right.
just some rough numbers here. 5 employees, $20 an hour, 30 hours a week, which is probably low, times 6 months. So 80 grand.
Yeah,
Right, yeah,
so yeah, I did those calculations, it's not that bad,
It's not
right?
bad.
It's not that bad, if we can go that route,
Mhm.
would be my choice as well. Elevator costs,
So, we've obviously been having lots of issues with our elevator, there's a couple options that I wanted to present, first I forgot all my notes, at the office, so, off the top of my head, roundabout numbers. We need, at some point, very soon, in the next few years, we're gonna need to modernize the elevator. Modernizing it comes with bringing it up to code. Anything, if you touch certain things in an elevator, you gotta bring it all up to the current codes, which requires certain things, cameras, all sorts of stuff. Yeah. So right now, if we replace, the main thing that we need to replace are our door controllers, which is gonna run us close to $40,000. There are some additional things that we can do as well, that could run us up to about 80,000. And that's actually what we've had discussions with Jared and potentially utilizing this roof money to do these initial upgrades. However, doing these needed parts isn't going to guarantee that a week later, something else is gonna go wrong with the elevator. Because we're still not modernized with it. A full modernization right now of our elevator would cost us about $115,000 to $130,000. By next year, talking, and that's off right now, like anything, cost increase, they've got like, Otis has like a automatic 5% uplift on all their parts and their services and all that, so we're talking next budget for next year, we would need about $150,000 to completely modernize the elevator. Now, if we do the door controllers now, that obviously would take off what the total modernization cost is. However, when you bundle it all together, you get discounts, and so we may end up, paying. Combined by piecemealing it, you end up paying more
Right.
than if you just do it all in one shot.
Are they replacing the whole unit or
There's all sorts of different parts, I mean, he's telling me, I
they're
got.
still using essentially the shell and just doing?
Yeah, so, I mean, cylinders and stuff, they don't ever replace the cylinder, unless, until it goes, exactly what. Else is here. What would you replace?
No, I was just
Uh,
wondering if they're like literally taking the box out and replacing it whole, or if they're just. taking
Whatever the
various
components of
components as a
electrical.
group and doing-
So,
Seems like the
So-
mechanical and electrical systems.
yeah, if I'm hearing you, we spend somewhere between 40 to 80. Or we spend 130 to just do it once.
Yeah.
And you have 85,000 and you're not replacing the roof fund.
Yeah, so what would be, what the modernization includes is the Otis controller, 2-door operators, 2-door detectors, power unit, oil, traveling cable, interlocks, voiceway wiring devices. COP and fixtures, it does not, and this is what it does not include, and this is why I'm overestimating as well, because he said probably about 130 next year. Additional 50% for code related items, which would include voice, video, text, code compliance, cylinder buffers. Things that then you have to get up to code compliance,
Is
so
that required next year, not this year? Is that what you're
that's
saying?
required.
If we touch
If you touch that elevator, door controllers, we can do without having to.
So they would be compatible with anything we do downstream or not, we don't really know that.
Yeah, I mean, anything they do now would be it's all Otis.
So it's all
So,
compatible.
It's all compatible, we do things now, and we do the door controls, we could get away with 3 years before we got it completely modernized, but we could last a month. We've been having significant issues with it because of the more usage of it with the contractors and what people, work when development was downstairs, now clerk's office. So
It's always been a little funky. Though.
it made it very aware of the issues as it got more use, and it's like put more stress on it, and it just made those issues were there, it just made us aware of them because it's now getting.
So we have a potential problem because we're not ADA compliant unless we can use that elevator, like, we're not ADA
Correct.
compliant right now.
Is it not?
Well,
right now?
we
It
are,
says employees only on
we
it.
are because the upstairs is closed to the public.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
But as soon as that
still,
changes,
I mean, you have a town board member who needs to use that elevator. That's
Correct,
not a-
well, he
Couldn't
can't
come in
go
the
up,
upper
he can't,
door.
but he can use the upstairs right now. So
Right.
because we're not compliant upstairs.
right,
So, but the elevator can be switched on for public use right now, so it's operating. We just turned it off because we can't have public because people
Upstairs,
keep
yeah.
wandering upstairs.
oh,
I know,
I
I
thought
wanted
that,
to-
I thought it had really had problems, when I
No.
saw that, I'm like, oh, no.
No, I
They got
did that. I
stuck
was
in it
wondering.
recently.
What's up?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've been stuck in it, Sarah's been stuck in it, contractor's been stuck in it, so far, we have not had a member of the public stuck in it, thankfully.
Goodness.
So.
Wow.
That's
Okay, I, as a member of the public and now the town board, would highly recommend that you just get the whole kit and caboodle and be done with it. It's not that far off. And it makes more sense.
That's what makes
Well,
me
What we
think as
could
well.
look into is what,
It's an elevator. It's a vital piece of safety equipment.
what I could look into is taking that 80,000 for the roof and seeing if we can split this, do the full modernization, but give them start something with that 80,000 or to be able to encumber it over, that we don't have to budget for the full $150,000,
Right.
but.
To
we
do
need
it
to
over
get
2
there.
years essentially kind of thing, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to encumber some money from this
Right.
year, carry it over, so that. We only have to budget for, the remainder for next year, but we're still doing the full modernization, just carrying some money over from this
You
year.
want to do modernization next year, not.
Well, the modernization would have,
They'd probably
Uh,
fix it.
well,
Cause if you're doing it now, you might as well just spend the 85 and then.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it this year, and it would cost less, $117,550 right now. Plus the 15% for any code related items.
well, I would think you'd wanna have it done. So that when the first floor is usable.
Yeah.
Well,
but
it
that
wouldn't be done by
building
then.
is-
Where
Well, I
this,
be in process,
They
right?
haven't go, you know,
yeah,
maybe it's not the exact date, but I mean,
it's
it's not gonna be 6 months.
If we're
out.
working on it and it's better than if we're not.
talking like 15-20 week lead time on materials. So it may not get done.
But particularly if it's cheaper, if you
Yeah.
order it now, I mean, you could save
We could save money
40
by,
grand or
ordering
30
it now.
grand, so.
So,
If we're looking at the end of the year, we'll definitely have a better picture of where we fall with a lot of our other, you know.
They ain't left over.
Must have $40,000 floating around on a side fund balance, so.
Renovation, supposed is that gonna be
Yes.
to,
Well, yeah, we'll have a bunch.
we're
You're gonna have a lot more.
probably gonna be close to, if not just under the 850,000 authorized for the.
but like Adeline said, that roof that we're never replacing,
Yeah.
maybe that's a place we take some money, you know,
well,
for that,
that's the,
for that
talking
building.
about.
I mean, if we sign a contract now, and it's 20 some weeks to get there, we give them some money, we're not paying till next year anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't pay for anything, so.
Right,
Until
so-
work is done.
Right, so I mean, so we
We're at-
definitely,
done.
yeah, I mean, we could, if we had some money this year and some money next year. Then I would agree.
That's your 85 and then.
Right,
you can-
right,
You can put 120 in that line next year
Yeah.
and still have your roof that you may or may not be
It'd be about a
doing.
4 week shutdown of the actual elevator, but
but that's nothing we can do anything about, this out of
Yeah.
our control,
no,
right?
I'm just letting you know,
Yeah.
that's what it would be,
But
about
that
4 week
has, that has to
shutdown.
be acceptable from an ADA standpoint,
Right.
because something dies in the thing, and
We're 4 weeks out,
you
right?
can't wait.
Right. In my mind, it's better to get that process going, because we're gonna be behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, well, yeah, and again, costs increase
Right.
every year by a lot, so.
Should we just get a resolution for the meeting for August?
Good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean. Kind of,
I'd
Oh,
recommend,
absolutely.
I would.
yeah,
Now, because
Yeah,
that's a
I
source
recommend
reminder, we don't want to
that we-
put on.
I'll make a motion that you put that on, that resolution on next month's budget. for
Yeah,
next week's.
Otis,
I need a second,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
So finance committee, the recommendation go.
alright. Yeah,
It's not something we can live without, I don't like to spend money, but if 3 people have been stuck in it in the last whatever, it's not acceptable.
Well, and now you know when you're gonna have your opening event is whenever the elevator's done, that's when
Right.
you have your grand opening, so.
yeah, I think, cause it's Otis and this is a specific Otis dealer. Pretty sure, and we already have service contract with them.
There's really no, there's like one other.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, pretty sure we're good, and we will save some money in our maintenance agreement, because I'm talking with them.
They'll drop the cost.
Yeah, negotiated some stuff with the maintenance agreement where they would waive the whole maintenance agreement for next year, and there's a warranty period.
How much should we spend on that?
That's
Almost about 2,500.
Yeah,
Any insurance issues with this?
No,
things wear out, right?
Will I help our insurance?
I mean, if.
Nobody's gonna drop to the basement floor.
Well,
There could be.
that's different stories, there could be,
Yeah.
I mean, if we, for breaks.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
not
The
go.
big thing is just evaluation of the building, make sure we have compensation within the replacement cost with the elevator values. They're in there now, but we can make sure we have
Yeah.
higher value with what we're spending. Increases the value of the building.
Right, going on the game room,
Was it,
So we threw that on the agenda. We wanted to discuss it in PBW. But Smedley and I were pretty here. I thought Jim was gonna be here. I was off by a day when he was.
he's on vacation.
Yeah, so main, I think it's worth discussing further on whether, before we put a rebid out for the roof, whether this building is worth the roof. Because from conversations Lindsay had with Jim in past, is that, and even Mike Murphy, is that the building isn't valued enough to even get a permit for a roof in the real world. So,
You mean it's in that degree of disrepair?
Yes, and
sounds
then
like it.
also with, you know, what Greg wants to do with that facility, it might make more sense to maybe in the meantime patch it up. And then look at potentially getting a newer building or a newer facility. What do you?
Yeah, on
think?
that same footprint,
Well, we were looking at putting a store, a small store in there and maybe even a concession.
You're still
stand.
gonna have any sort of game room thing?
Yes, there'll still be a game room. We'd only need a small portion of it.
And for those of you who've been in that building, it's been remodeled, it's been re-repaired many times. There's also a random bathroom in the center that doesn't ventilate properly. It ventilates into the actual room. So I think it's worth further discussion, especially based on what, Jim has informed me.
It's more historic value and
Yeah, yeah.
aesthetic value, that building, cause it is that's why your roof is so expensive, cause it's such a unique building, so, but that's.
A lot of angles in.
Yeah, but we may wanna do it all in one shot, if we need to really think about repairing it or doing something different with it versus spending how much on the roof.
I mean, I hate to say, be
New building would be,
the
right, is that?
devil's advocate, but there's a significant need for parking down there too, is there the thought of moving it maybe? I mean, for what you wanna do, if you're taking it down, I mean.
Well, we're on the lakeside right now, we can't do too much because.
We don't
well,
also.
yeah, so we're back to that.
There's like 3 septics taking up most of that grass area.
We can't put anything there anyway, even parking, so, yeah.
Not at the moment, I mean, there's a
I
say in the
just-
future we could do something more, but do we wanna invest all this money?
If,
that?
we'd hate to put a new roof on and
Yeah.
3 years from now, be like, we just need to replace the building.
Not bad,
Yeah.
So the thoughts is, can we just repair the leak? We'd have to look at it and see if we can, in-house can just throw some, repair work up there to stop it from leaking at least, until we can really discuss further what
Has
we
the,
can do there.
has the leak been defined? I mean, we know where it's
Yes.
leaking,
Certain vents that stick out through.
so we could figure that out, then, yeah.
It could be a matter of boots, putting,
Yeah.
How much was I was here.
Well, the
It's
metal
ridiculous,
one,
I know, but-
139,000.
It's ridiculous.
So it's like
The
a
asphalt shingles, a little bit more reasonable, but still,
So it was like it was over 100,000.
Why did Mike say that in the real world, you couldn't get a permit?
Well, it sounds like in order to get a permit to put a new roof on
they
your
have a
house.
certain value.
Structurally,
The value of your home needs to exceed what the value of the roof is
And
gonna
they're-
be. In this case.
Yeah.
right, that's the only thing I worry about, tearing it down, but I guess we'll cross that bridge.
Well, yeah.
So I would say
just
touch
have
base
to
with
decide.
Leaf, right? So to touch base.
I don't need to, I don't need to.
No,
Well, okay.
that's it.
Touch base with Leaf. Sorry, I'm old school, Lindsay. So touch base with Leaf. And, I mean, I gotta say, as a member of the public, if somebody said, we're gonna spend $130,000 replacing the roof on that, I would be like, what?
Well, we'd be down to
That's
probably
crazy.
40,000 for asphalt, so it's what we were gonna rebid
Yeah.
for asphalt, which probably will come in around that $40,000 range, so. But still, which is still significant if we're gonna end up doing something.
They
different
put that
there.
40 grand towards a new building too, so.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I'm
So-
thinking, I mean,
Well, the cabins cost what, $50,000?
You can get a prefab
like-
already.
And that's the thing, it's
facility
not,
for something like that.
yeah, those type of buildings, you don't need to build, stick build from the ground up for those, hundreds of $1,000s, you could
Big,
rehab,
Plunk it down there.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a
prefab
$1 million
trailers.
building.
We could not go out for bid for that building. Bro,
Okay.
like,
yeah, I'd be waiting on that too, just to, let's patch it off,
Yep.
Good
see what happens. I mean, even to put that kind of money in, not owning it is a little rough,
Yeah, flesh out your ideas too on, what exactly you would ideally do if you had, talk to the parks committee, see where,
Yeah,
it
we
is.
just, because we just decided last committee meetings to put the rebid out, I just wanna bring it up again to at least say, okay, maybe we don't do that, and then we have further discussions on a plan. Flush that out more,
It's
but
already in the budget.
So- if there's agreement to not even put the rebid out, then we'll cancel that.
and we have money for that roof,
Yes.
so maybe we have money for an elevator.
I don't know if we got some.
And all that.
I don't know, 'cause I think there was more than one roof that we were.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's gonna
The
be more
pavilion,
expensive.
there was a pavilion as well, next to it.
Yeah,
So are you're still rebidding that one for the pavilion?
No, we can't, we actually, because of the expense of the one roof, we were gonna only do the game room this year, and we had, because we had to use the funds. That we were gonna use for the pavilion into that, because it was under budgeted.
So why don't you just do the pavilion this year?
Well, need to be.
I don't know that it's leaking, I think it was.
Yeah, maybe
We have it
maybe-
scheduled for.
Maybe we'll
the
put
roof
on,
repair.
yeah,
Right, okay, so that was off the schedule, so maybe just eyes, yeah,
Yeah.
right, like putting eyes on it.
No, yeah, knowing that we're not gonna do game room, we'll take a further look at what else. Needs to be done with now that these extra funds, and if nothing, then you're right, I mean, it would help with the elevator.
I personally would like to see that stay metal down there with the ones that we've replaced, and so.
They should be similar.
And the more simplistic roofs won't cost as much. But
What did the pavilion bid at metal?
I haven't. So
That was up there too.
yeah,
Yeah, the Rotary Pavilion still came in at 53.2.
it's too bad we can't get
You know,
it.
The Rotary plane.
Exactly what I.
Man, they
Did you
would,
guys not get a huge donation from the Holden family? That's actually the Holden Pavilion.
yeah, no, it was,
That-
No.
I think it was 10,000 or something,
Yeah.
yeah, it was 10,000.
Oh, so they,
One
the
five.
Rotary and Holden, okay, so it's not the Holden Pavilion, it's the Rotary. Got it.
Holden was
And it-
done.
Do you need money from Rotary?
Because somebody.
Well, I'll point.
Expensive, and it's-
I will point, I'm in the Rotary Club and I will just mention that Rotary, by the way, you guys should just know this as a town in general, Rotary is looking for a big thing to sink their teeth into, a big project somewhere that could be theirs, and they're looking at the city, they're looking down, but if there's a visibility project, something that they can throw, you know, some money at and partner with the town, keep that in the back of your brain, because they have been looking for a
We'll
signature
find
thing,
something for them.
so.
I don't know how they feel about a roof, but.
It's not a roof, but I mean, but it's.
Yeah, we'll pay something out there for them.
Tell them, don't go anywhere else, we'll
find
We'll
something.
find something, we got.
I mean, it's, yeah, they've they did the whole big rotary stage in the central of Maine and
Yeah.
the city of Canandaigua, so town of Canandaigua up
Well,
next, so.
With outhouse,
What magnitude of dollars?
Yeah.
Well,
It's probably,
that stage was.
Yeah, the neighborhood.
Yeah,
I think it's around 50,000,
we can,
so it's probably gonna be something we're partnering with, but you know, if you wanna put in a splash pad. Right.
I'd love to get a soccer field over at Outhouse.
on the other side of the road,
Lindsay splash.
yeah.
They do naming rights, huh?
Yeah.
Exactly, that's what, I mean, that's.
But
But I
I
mean,
wanna sponsor the pickleball court we're putting in.
That's
Well,
actually would
I-
be something.
We got more ideas already.
I'm just saying, they've literally been looking for a thing, but they want visibility and they wanna.
Yeah,
come
like,
out.
seriously.
they
that's-
don't wanna go to the city.
Well,
Don't go to the
pickleball,
city.
I think they'd be all over
Yeah.
pickleball, geez, if you hung that out there, geez, that's gonna be popular.
Come up with Jared's also Rotarian, so come up with 3 or 4 things. Work with Jared on it and have it, all I gotta do is bring it to the executive committee of the Rotary Club and suddenly it's gonna happen.
I
That's
mean,
good to know, we got it.
So,
Pickleball's all backed up in the city, I mean, if we get that and had Rotary there, I think that'd be a great spend on that.
Which we did get the RFP for that.
Right.
We're there, we're waiting on Jim to get the foundation
Yeah.
to do that. One thing that I was needing to talk to everyone
Right
about is,
between bocce ball
we'll need a
and
fence,
basketball.
you know,
Yeah.
in there. So I didn't know if there was
That's
discussion,
high
if
visibility.
we were gonna do that in-house, but it came way under the budget.
Yeah, we're way under what was it, 20,000? We budgeted 40,
and it was 45.
so we got plenty of money to do the fence too.
But
And if Rotary comes through.
Or we might actually be able to do thing.
Yeah,
for the field, the soccer field,
Mention it
Jim said we
before.
would need to do a lot of groundwork, so
Yeah.
even if we could. Do a phase of it in preparation with some of this, you know?
well, maybe if we were lucky enough to get money for that, we just transfer that money over and do the soccer field, or start the soccer field process,
That'd be
you
great.
know, yeah, that'd be great.
whatever it is, I know they want a partner, so. and they-
Well,
Do they
Good
require
visibility.
someone better? Or
They
find out.
they would require,
Yeah.
what they would need some chatting, so I was on the Rotary board, I just came off of it, so they would need a fully flushed thing. This is what it costs, if you donate X amount towards it, it is suddenly named the Rotary X,
We
whatever.
also need
You know.
cabins at Ononda, so those are about 50 grand.
I mean.
We got
Sorry,
ideas.
Come up with your
There's a lot.
options.
Hold the money. It's not kind of big, but-
They're looking to do something that
recipe
is
side.
useful and helps the community, so.
All right, Pierce Park slab.
Yes, so Pierce Park slab, finally got the 3 quotes in, and I guess bottom line is, we had budgeted $7,500. The best one that we came in was not to exceed 13,000, so we're over. The
But
other
now
ones
we-
were even
Pierce
more
Park.
expensive.
But now I think we just solved that problem, we're not doing the roof, so we can pay the extra funds for those
Revert them
slabs.
over there, yeah.
But that's what the cost is, more than what was budgeted, so, and we initially were coming here to see, okay, what do we do now, but that solved itself with the discussion on the roof.
Cause it was under the 20, so we just needed 3 bids, and we felt like we could press with this one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's
she
13,000 versus 7,500.
I can see, yeah, and this was who Jim actually recommended.
And they're the bidder, yeah,
The bet, who was the lowest bid,
Yeah,
that's great.
good, yeah. that's
So the
good.
other 2 were higher, 1480, 17.5, so.
How big is that slab?
Well, it's a complicated
Yeah,
issue.
It's because of the rain.
the deteriorating block underneath it, cause I kept asking, I'm like, is there any way, and even Jim thought, could we, cause the slab itself that's going into the bathrooms isn't particularly bad, it's the foundation underneath.
Okay.
All 3 of them, none of them would just do the foundation itself, cause then
Yeah.
if something happened and to the slab, then we're gonna come and say, hey.
Hey,
Are they just gonna lift up the building and then do the work underneath, or were they?
It has nothing to do anything with the building, it's just a ADA ramp going up to the bathroom.
It's probably from the inside.
All 3 of them,
No, I've been over there.
all 3 of them believe it's a product failure, you basically the bad block, cause we're like, I've never seen block deteriorate like that.
Yeah.
So
Use salt on it? Do they use salt on it?
on the parking lot, but even.
Not on the slab though, not where this is deteriorating, the salt will
Yeah, but
eat
the
up
slab,
concrete.
It's weird. I have touched
This
it.
one.
It's.
yeah, the slab itself is good.
Okay,
It's like,
that's odd. Alright, so
Yeah,
we
it is
just
weird.
got that solved as well, that's good.
Wow, that $85,000 roof is, paid for a lot.
No problem.
We should budget for that every year and just keep not doing it.
We do.
I did, yeah, see? There you go.
We do.
Well,
Ends up being
I gotta,
It's so useful.
I gotta do some research, I don't know how old it is or anything, maybe we can add it into a capital improvement budget.
The roof or the slab?
The roof, and just start, if we still can get 5 more years out of it, then we just throw.
Keep putting $5,000 in, yeah, no.
Well, that's that campus repair reserve fund that I'm like
Right,
that.
well, and we did start with that, we are now have with the one of the new systems that we're
ClearGov.
using, ClearGov. There's been some money lately, but I'm like, let's go. That there is a capital planning
Yeah, we have,
module that
CIP run.
we're just, but
we
having
gotta
done.
get through regular budget first.
Yeah. But yes, though, these are the types of things that, yeah, we need to reassess. A lot of the department heads use the old spreadsheet that had, this needs to be done in 2025. But obviously, those are really, guides, right? Not like you need a roof on your house every 20 years. I mean, who does that? I don't care what it looks like. I'm getting it re-roofed, so. So those would be the types of things that we're gonna put money away for and reassess the need for.
Yeah, this,
All these things.
this year was a clear, clearly see the need for CIP budgets.
Yeah,
And putting money away for those things, those major,
Things that can go bad.
equipment, things
Yeah.
that, to have it there, not always be an emergency mode and.
so we'll still have the capital, like, you can still have the campus reserve fund, like for emergencies or something, but
Yeah.
then you'll
Yeah,
have
more
separate
specific
funds
amounts,
for.
right.
Building repairs or,
Yeah.
equipment replacements and stuff like that, and those will be in like capital projects, right?
Money will
Big
remain the
reserve
same, but it'll go to
fund.
different spots.
And it's key is remembering to do it, and I mean, that's
Mhm.
part of why when I go through this, I'm like, why is this at 100%?
Well-
Cause it's,
That's what you get when you when you do CIP budgets, you
Yeah.
have your schedule.
Yes,
And then, so
exactly.
you see it every year, and you see when you have that, when you get to the
Critical mass,
large
yeah.
Good.
number that you have that you need, and then your year after is going to be a much lower number, so that
Yeah.
you know that's the year that work is getting done.
Right.
And so,
No, I'm glad you guys are gonna be working more on that more, cause that's something I've been asking everybody. for on for a while.
So 26 budget priorities.
just again, as we're getting in the budget season, I just wanna throw out anything that, we need to think about. What the priorities of the, committee might be. Just to give us ideas of what, we should be really looking at if we're missing anything as we start putting together the budget, so.
One thing I have that I think is important is the dock that the fireboats parked on. That is almost dangerous.
Yes,
I mean,
so
there's sometimes an inch and a half higher. Those guys work there at night if they're emergencies. I don't know if we get something from the county or what, but
that's, we're gonna be working on it. Jared is supposed to be talking, county level for some funds, and I mean, he is part of approval of the sheriff's office budget, so.
yeah,
So I suggested that when we start talking about this, well, let's ask the sheriff's office what they can put in, because the county can pay a lot more towards that. And they're the ones that use it. I mean, now Cheshire uses it too, but Cheshire has been helping by actually like replacing boards
Right,
as
right.
needed.
yeah. It's in terrible shape if you haven't been on it.
So, and we don't charge a lot for that boathouse, so, I think the county can probably. Put the majority of the bill on that, just as, take, and I can shoot something over the chief there
Maybe
too.
you start,
Say, put this in your budget.
Yeah.
maybe you start submitting repair bills to New York State, but probably give us ownership of the. Like.
Well, that's not something
Yeah,
we
well-
can ignore. I mean, because I would hate to have somebody that's, a volunteer.
Yeah.
Falling in the water, getting hurt or whatever, because they're at night,
And it's right next to the beach where kids are playing all the time.
Right, they shouldn't be on that, but
No.
yeah, but I mean, it's just bad.
Fish off that or something.
Yeah.
They shoo them off, those lake
Try,
trout are good down there.
So where are you guys on Onondaga Uplands? Are you?
Well, that was my next
Yeah.
question was, our priority for that, because we do have to prepare for potentially not getting the grant money, because we probably won't know if we get the grant money until after we do the budget. And so. Again, it's hard without Jim here, but. I think probably he's gonna have the ARPA money spent up by the end of this phase of the project.
Which is getting the road up, essentially.
Yep, that's good.
So, but we still, like, to actual project completion, we need the cabins back, we took down the cabins. Those are about 50 grand a piece,
But all something we could, I mean, if we don't get the money, we don't wanna ask the taxpayers to hit that all in
Well-
one year, I mean.
again, and that's why,
What are
that's
you
part of
using
this
this-
discussion is what priority are we looking at that as, are we looking to spread that now
What are
out
you using CM 100 for?
on Onda?
Okay. so
Yeah,
we-
so we have some in there that, we're looking to use for Onada, but again, what we have right now between ARPA and CM funds is not going to complete
Right.
Onada.
Right,
And so the question is, how do we want to deal with it if we don't get the grant? So how much should we look at for next year's budget? Or at least what priority level is it, so we can say, okay, it's kind of mid-level, we know we're not, the board understands it's not gonna be complete next year, so this is how much we should put in to at least get us by whatever work can be done next year and then the following year.
I would get, I think it makes sense to finish projects when you're working on them and get as much done as you can at a time before you move on to the next thing. That's just,
what's the grant for, how much? Wasn't it $500,000 or something?
Million? That was a full million, it was up to
A
1
million,
million.
up to $1 million.
Isn't that
From who?
shortfall between 1.5 from
What
between what we had for ARPA and what they put in?
was the shortfall of $1 million?
It was about a
Feels
little
like
over a
forever.
million, including the bathhouse, cause that's one of the biggest
Expenses,
expenses.
right, yeah.
Is that the priority? So we
No,
get,
because those cabins have,
The new
they
ones,
have
but
bathrooms.
we don't have new cabins.
yeah,
Oh,
just one.
so wait, you're gonna do 50,000 a cabin to replace, to put the old ones back?
No, if to get new cabinets
Get
in
new,
place,
yeah.
they're about 50 grand a piece.
Yeah.
That do have the bathrooms, the ADA compliant ones are
Yeah.
probably gonna up more towards,
They're a
Gonna be
little
better.
bit more.
they're gonna be the 60, yeah, the
So
70,000.
you need a bathroom up there anyway for the general public using it, so.
Yeah,
but
so I
it's-
guess that's so is the priority, this bathhouse, which I think we got down to about $600,000. Versus
Oh my God,
putting the
really?
cabins in place, or do we want the cabins in place versus the bathhouse? I mean, the
I would
bathhouse now is not usable it's not by any means ADA
Oh, no,
compliant.
right.
do- I would do bathhouse first, because you can always add cabins as you go and have the money come for it, and it's a unit, right? It comes one thing, it's ready to go, and
That's what we were looking at.
No, so the bathhouse we're talking about is the one that MRB designed, not the one that I proposed of dropping.
Oh, no,
That was like a temporary solution but I think Jim doesn't want
doesn't want that. From a
that.
winter standpoint, if I remember right, wasn't it, he thought they might have trouble accessing
Yeah,
facilities.
yeah, and really that was more for just trying to get that grant that we were going for with the hometown grant to show that we can complete the project if needed. So the bathhouse we're talking about is one that MRB designed that was initially about $1 million. We got it down to like 600,000.
Is it a castle?
It's a masonry bathhouse, and it would be right in the center of that circle that
Right.
they're creating. So
I mean,
Yeah, it's a-
I
I just feel like-
have you considered naming it the Floyd G. Rayburn Masonry Bathhouse?
we considered going out.
Just
to
throwing
bid
it out
for
there.
well, it would go out there.
That's in.
Is that what's out there?
Those are the projected costs.
Slow you a little bit around that. Oh,
That MRB, so MRB comes up with the projected cost, we go out to bid, and then we.
They're not building.
Right.
You should build a whole house for less than that, like, I don't.
Yeah, but when you get into commercial stuff, it's just.
By
it's
the
all
way,
different.
It's also prevailing wage.
Yeah,
It's New York State.
By the way,
Does that include any services up to?
That's what I understood too.
Yeah.
It's not just the building.
No, it's the whole thing, it's
Yeah.
getting that.
Water and electric,
power
right,
and water
yeah.
house.
I'm not kidding, by the way, you should consider the possibility, just like we have benches named when we need benches, or trees sponsored when we need trees. You don't have to do that, but you can always put it out there that, hey, it would cost Floyd so much less for him to build these things at cost for himself. And suddenly name it the, Rayburn Bathhouse, who knows if something like that could ever happen, but. I don't have a problem if somebody wants to name a tree, name a bench, name a house.
Outside board members and staff would have to make those asks, as we cannot legally solicit for donations.
Donations.
Well, then how are we doing the benches?
We just put it on the website. People fill out the form and send it to us.
And
I'm
it's
not saying
really
solicit,
like
I'm
a
saying,
village.
hey, we're doing this building,
Getting one of ourselves here, but.
Yes.
just throwing it
Yeah.
out there.
Any other
Are you doing
thoughts with budget priorities?
a comp plan update anytime soon?
Um,
We
Probably
are,
getting
actually. I think
close.
we're kind of looking at
getting there.
piecemeal, yeah.
You might wanna budget that
We
for,
need to, I
you know,
think,
the $70,000 MRB will charge us to.
well, I think we're kinda, if we're looking at land use, future land use stuff as well, and
Which
tie
part of
that
the comp
into
plan.
comp plan, but I think we're talking about holding back until we
Yeah.
figure out what is going on with electricity. And because that
Mm.
is going to change everything.
Yeah.
So,
We had that discussion with Eric, was it 2 weeks ago? That, you were,
I missed it
Oh, you
because
missed
I
it.
was in, I had some other meeting I was at.
Jared and Eric and somebody else, anyway,
Ryan Davis.
he just sounded to me like they were considering their budget too. They wanted to sell us on getting another cat plan. That's that time, yet. Because of that, but also, we haven't really knocked off that many of the goals that were listed in the current comp plan, so.
I don't think we need to update it, because maybe those goals are no longer priorities.
Well,
That's the thing.
Sure, you
about-
can look at that, but we don't need MRV to. look
Yeah.
at it.
No, I think we
You
can
know,
do that
oh,
internally, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but I think that's something we should be doing, you know?
Yeah, well, and especially because this electricity issue could change priorities, so we could have to change our entire development area if we can't develop on the 332 corridor anymore, and we can't not develop.
Well, if we
so-
can't develop there, we're not gonna be able to develop anywhere,
Anywhere.
essentially, that's the
We're at the
problem,
mercy
is
of-
universal. Any other budget priorities?
I will always say it, please keep in your brains, I know this is not gonna be here for it, but finishing off the last 0.78 miles of the Middle Cheshire Road sidewalk, so. That will always be on my brain, it's what brought me on the town board, so. Someday someone will make me happy and finish 0.78 miles of the Middle Cheshire Road sidewalk.
Needs to be fixed,
Yes, that too.
falling apart. Oh, it's great.
It's really only a sidewalk here and there along, you know?
0.78 miles, we're probably, talking 700 grand.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, yeah.
You know,
It would be certainly nice to do that.
It's a heavily utilized
Yes.
thing, and it's just utilized for recreation right now, you finish that 0.78 miles and it's
I
utilized
see
for.
anybody else
transportation.
driving over today, so.
Oh my god, you know what, I'm gonna keep track of how many people are on that, Terry, you and I can literally
I drive-
take notes. I see,
I-
every time I go in, I see 4, 5, 6 people on
Or
that
then-
sidewalk.
Maybe Morel can contribute to that.
Well, because they're not gonna walk there
They're
because
put all
it's
the houses
safe.
up there.
People walk out my way and it's, there's nothing out there, that doesn't stop
I
them
do
that
see
much.
people walking in there, there's
I
a
think
guy
it's,
who commutes there with his backpack every
If you
day.
knock off all these other things, then maybe.
Um,
More important things to spend money on.
as, so as, we get into, it, if there are any, things that come out,
Fire them to you.
just shoot me an email so we can try to, work in, I got our budget. Meetings, I gotta send an email out today, I was supposed to try and do it yesterday, I didn't get a chance to, but, we got our department head budget meetings, coming up here.
Do you have a schedule?
Yeah, so I've got,
Would you fire that out to the town board?
yes, so these meetings are going to be. Yeah, we're looking at like between the 12th, 14th, 15th, and 19th, I got different schedules, but these are gonna be basically just, I'm trying to do it a little differently than the budget, the department heads have worked on their budgets, but to actually finalize the department head budget. Requests, we're having them come in and sit down with myself, Jess, Jared, I'm bringing Lindsay into, for this, another set of eyes, but also dealing with salary stuff, and there's some things that we learned. About some salaries that we need to address, that, if he was involved, and she would be the one to tell us that this is an issue, there's actually a minimum salary range, by law. And we're under it for certain staff members, so. So she's gonna be in on these, but, and then through these meetings, these gonna be just informal discussions with the department heads on. Finishing their budget requests. Saving a step in this whole process and streamlining it by, where previously it was department heads went in, did their budgets, put their requests in, then, it was. Gone through by, well, last year was me, Jess and Jared, previously whoever, make cuts here and there, then go back and have the discussions with department heads on what's being cut and what's not, and so this is just gonna bring it all together, we're doing it all in the room at the same time to get as close as possible with the department head budgets to the actual, what's gonna be presented as the preliminary budget, rather than having these big discrepancies and using it to artificially, kind of inflate, well, you could be at this rate, but we cut this, and this to be at this rate.
Right.
There's no point in that, we're just gonna streamline
What
it,
do you need, right?
get it done, and so that's what these meetings are about, but yeah, I'll share them with the rest of the town board. But they're not gonna be public meetings or anything, they're just our internal meetings for now. And then by the end of August is when I expect to have all the department head budgets done, ready to go to bring it as a preliminary budget, so. Or tentative
With no public meeting at all on that? No public meeting on any of that, or?
On those are no public, these are just internal meeting
Right.
to start, to get the budget.
So the preliminary budget will be a public meeting.
Yes, all those, so I sent that calendar out, then we're gonna start utilizing our committees to have those budget workshops, you know, if there's not much on the agenda, we can turn a committee meeting into a budget workshop. And start getting going and
When are you presenting to the town board the preliminary budget? We do it in town board, because typically there was like a presenting of the budget at
Yeah,
the town board.
it's
meeting.
there.
Budget available for people to pick up a few days ahead. kind of thing.
Yep, it's all in accordance with the timelines from the comptroller's office.
Yeah, we were always a little ahead of that in our town, earlier than what was required.
See. Oh, some dates real quick here. So I sent this out to the board already, it looks different than it has in the past, because it was very. Written very specifically. In the past with exact dates and all that, and that's just. Too much, not much flexibility in it, so. Right now, June through July, we're working through the new program, department head preparation, which is what they're doing on their own. I met with them individually to go through the program, assign them their accounts, and they're going through it on their own. Our preliminary communications of soliciting some rate schedules, budget off solicitation of rate schedules for 2026, which I've been taking care of, trying to go through, find all our different contracts and all our vendors that we use on a yearly basis. And trying to get them to give me updates on what the costs are gonna be for next year. I got the exemption report from the assessor. That was by July 31st. I gotta talk with Jared, see if he's received the tax cap calculations yet from the comptroller's office. I haven't seen those yet. August is gonna be all internal budget review. And that's where I had on here some potential discussions, which that's why I brought it up here, as far as funding priorities, capital projects, et cetera, was through finance committee, PBW, yeah, the regular town board meeting August 18th. Then we get in September is the tentative budget process. Where I listed again the committee meeting dates for potential dates of budget workshop meetings that would have to be declared by Jared, supervisor. And then the tentative budget would be filed by me with the clerk prior to the September 22nd meeting. And that's where it will be presented as a tentative budget to the town board, September 22nd. With any modifications, the town board can accept it at that meeting, then it'll be the preliminary budget. And then we have, or we continue tentative budget discussions. So if the tentative budget is accepted, then we would set a public hearing on the preliminary budget for October 20th. And I can send this out to the whole committee. This is, you know,
You sent.
I sent it to the town board members, but I can send it
Oh,
to
I
the
got, it.
finance.
Yeah,
committee as well.
that's a good idea.
So we would set the public hearing on the preliminary budget for October 20th. No modification to the preliminary budget can be made until the public hearing at that point. Then I would file the preliminary budget with town clerk by October 5th. And then the preliminary budget process will start. Which. Public hearing be October 20th. We, on that timeline, we can keep the public hearing open through October 27th. And schedule the budget workshop meeting for that day as well. So, and then October 27th as a budget workshop, we would continue public hearing if the tax cap is not met after any final modifications, that's when we would set the public hearing to override the tax cap on November 17th at a regular town board meeting.
It's due. by-
Huh. The tax, that's just due, what, the budget or?
Budget's due.
Budget due November 22nd. Somewhere around there. So contrary to what's been said in the past, the tax cap override does not have to be done by the end of August. That only has to be done prior to adopting the final budget, and it's a good idea to wait until then. Because
We don't really know,
you don't know.
right?
Yeah, but. in
It's
the past,
likely
we've
you're gonna-
always-
It's like you're always gonna be over because it's ridiculous that the tax cap rate is ridiculous to try to.
Well, I
But
think
you
we
don't
don't,
know what the state may change next year, force us over,
Yeah.
so that's why we've always done it.
In a-
and we don't have
Correct.
to, we don't have to override it, we just vote that we have the ability to override.
It's always, yeah, because what happens, you do it in August and you already get the public crazy about the fact that
We
we're.
did it in January.
Doing
one year,
that.
January.
Tax cap.
That's true.
And so.
We'll let
um,
Michelle do that with the.
So now, so. We then would, if again, on that timeline, we would adopt the budget. At that November 17th meeting, at first we would adopt the tax override, then we would adopt the budget.
And we can do both legally that same time.
Yep. And then if the tentative budget is not accepted at the September 22nd meeting. Then we would continue it. We would have further discussions at the committee meetings in October. We would then set the public hearing for the preliminary budget for October 27th. We'd have to. And then I would file the preliminary budget by October 22nd. To then have the budget workshop and discussions on October 22nd. At that point, we would, we really would have to adopt.
The budget then, right?
And then still. Deal with the total final budget at the November 17th. Meeting, so.
So I'm not gonna be at September 22nd, so it'll have to be unanimous, right? Make that through.
For the town board. Well, yeah, with those who are there, yeah.
It would have to be, I mean, as the quorum, then it would have to be all 3 yeses then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, and we would have, start having those conversations at the.
Preliminary stuff.
Good committee meetings and, so we know where you're at with it anyway, prior to the.
Yeah.
22nd.
Any issues that we're gonna come up, will come up then.
Prior to, yeah.
Hopefully we can resolve and we'll take it.
So,
After that, you could, change whatever.
So when are you gonna do tax cap and?
tax cap is gonna be is the
Just prior. to-
November 17th meeting when it's
17th.
gonna be. If we go over, then we're gonna do the tax cap override prior to adopting the budget at that same meeting. Save some. Just save it all for at the same time.
Anything else? Next meeting is September 3rd, this room at 9 o'clock.
Will not be here.
Quick question about the LNB investment proposal we had last meeting.
Mhm.
Was that approved? Or I know there was some misunderstanding about how those accounts would be set up that I found out afterwards.
So there's LNB is already one of our approved depositors. So. I mean, really, however, the town supervisor, town manager decide. and
What money's
yes.
going where, right?
Yeah, well, what came up afterwards, what I found after our meeting was that, you have to have a checking account.
Correct.
Right,
And it has to have a certain balance in it.
right. I think they were gonna create that, is what I
Okay,
gleaned out of that.
but it was a pretty big number they needed to have on that checking. Over 500,000.
500,000?
No, I don't believe that we were ever told.
I didn't hear that
You did
number.
not give us that number.
I heard checking account and I thought it was
Correct.
more like $2,500.
No, I believe all he had said was that it needed to have regular activity.
Yeah. well,
Right,
that's-
right.
That's not the case. You see, if you get access to those money market accounts,
Mhm.
they're paying a pretty good percentage on it.
Yeah.
The bank needs to make some money
Yeah.
out of the
Right.
checking, and it's not interest bearing.
Okay,
So a little salesmanship occurred.
So I talked to Jared about this
okay.
a couple days after our meeting.
Rotary.
Yes, at Rotary, yes.
Should go.
And I talked to Charlie and I talked to Jeff Friend.
They do know Jeff,
Higher
yeah.
up in the LB, he was pretty persistent. You can't, it wouldn't work for them.
So there's no question about it, we have to have a $500,000 balance.
Minimum.
Minimum,
He was saying 500 to 750.
yeah, I don't
I don't know if
think
that
makes
will,
any sense.
well, I
Yeah,
mean, you have what, 2 million? That neighborhood that you would allocate? You
but
know,
right now we're
and
getting
then-
something at 2 million, not taking $500,000 out of that, saying we're not
Yeah.
taking the interest on
Within
that.
the money market accounts, there would probably be around 2 million, but in the checking account, probably not.
No,
That's not gonna do
it's
anything.
the CM fund and then,
But typically when like bank like CNB, they have the operating account, right?
Correct,
So that's where they're making their money.
right.
Okay, on that end of it, you know. So I
Right,
don't,
that's
that's,
not a doable thing, thanks for looking
I
at
don't
that.
think it is. You know,
That's not doable, yeah,
that's-
yeah.
That number's not doing anything for us.
Right, we can't, we
Unless
can't
you're
do that.
switching where you're.
Right.
you're-
Right, unless we switch
Right.
everything over to
have
LMB.
a checking account, other than a regular operating account, that would carry a balance higher than that amount regularly. It's maybe within that range, but not, maybe not always, like, we could either do our CM fund, which right now has or something,
We use that all.
and that, but we plan on using that.
Yeah.
What about the open space? fund?
And then-
That's used.
It's like an average daily balance that they would.
Oh,
So there's no
they would-
activity.
they're fun. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Or we could move our sureties, which is like it's a trust account,
Yeah,
But we're getting
Minimum
interest on all
payment.
those now, right?
these are just checking.
So we don't get,
CNB, I don't think you're getting any interest on those CNB.
Yeah,
accounts.
I know.
No, but those, we're just holding money in trust for the sureties, and so that's an in and out, and so that varies greatly
Sure.
depending on what you're, what
and
you're
it's not a
holding.
$500,000.
I think right now it might be,
It's not
but
always
it's not always, I
Right.
mean, it's like, last year it was down to 200,000.
No,
I think this is any misunderstanding and problems down the line
Correct.
with another bank, I
Yeah.
would say,
I
Yeah,
don't think.
this
I
is a
would-
record.
Well,
I
I
would
think it's a
agree
good
with
idea in general for the town to have, $2 million to this bank and $500,000 to that bank, checking, like that.
Right,
I just don't.
well, the
think
idea
that's-
was to, diversify where you have your
Exactly.
holdings. blah, blah,
Investments,
blah.
yeah.
They were giving us a pretty good interest rate, but it cost us $500,000 to get there, right?
Well, yes, I mean, yes, but we're really just. we're not-
Right, exactly, but we're
Looking
giving up.
at it, giving them, we're just moving a checking account from CNB to LNB, it's not costing, you know what I mean?
Right, right,
It's not
right.
No, but if it's a required minimum balance,
Right.
it's over
Then we
like
don't
10
have-
grand, I
Right.
think that's
We
gonna
won't
be a
have,
pain.
like, we're
Right.
not gonna give them money to hang on to just to
Have
meet
the
the
access to an increased interest rate, yeah, it doesn't,
Cause we
doesn't-
have other options that don't require that.
and it
See.
doesn't financial wash anyway, so yeah.
It seems like it makes more work for.
A lot of.
Right.
Get little gain
Right.
on the investment or the money market accounts,
It also just seems funky, like I would be
on the
like.
surface, right?
Yeah, if I was a public looking into it and I'm like, why do they have a $500,000 here and then everything else over there, like, what's it?
trying to stay the public money.
I know,
Trying to make the public.
but I fully understand that, but I'm just saying, it's just kind of one of these
Right,
things. that
it was
would
only
it's
research to
confusing.
have another option that.
Access to greater interest rates,
Right.
right?
We have a better interest rate, and then LNB also has pretty, we've been told that they have pretty good CD rates, so, but they don't wanna give you a CD unless you have checking
Right.
account, blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of like, okay, well, now we have more options, more competitive bidding on our CDs and things, but in the end, if it's,
Yeah,
you
and
can't meet that, it's not.
If
great.
it sees it seems.
Yeah, it's more work for me to
Yeah.
have it that way, for sure,
Right.
but,
Well, I mean, I think the only other discussion point is it something you wanted to move the entire thing to LNB? I mean, that's,
No.
then don't worry about it.
no, well, no, no,
Then I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, you're doing your best to get the best race that you can and in a way that makes
Yeah.
sense and.
okay.
Was there a resolution created for the last board meeting? Or
No.
I thought we voted that we would recommend it?
It was voted
Or was it
here,
just loose? Yeah.
it was voted here as recommendation, but we didn't have to do a resolution because they're already,
Right.
Oh.
they're
okay.
already-
They're already a vendor of ours.
and our, investment policy allows us internally to do those things.
Okay, alright,
So-
well, that's good.
So hopefully we didn't move anything.
No, no, that's the last step.
All right, we just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
See you next
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
September
Yeah,
3rd.
good on.
Oh, thanks.
Who's our-
I'll let you know as soon as that money's cleared, you know, track.